Hello, you little bastards. You've made it just in time for the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve, a la Brewski. If it's your first time tuning into the podcast,
welcome to the show.
You'll soon realize that Nick is very decent and just about as sweet as cherry pie. He's one of few that has never done anything wrong.
There's a big part of me that likes to help elderly people across the street. Only I take them about halfway. Okay, and then I just leave them there. I find I'm still doing more than the average person, so it is what it is.
Steve is a guy that's exceptional, exceptionally horny. You definitely wouldn't want to have him around your mom if she's hot, but you will want him at every party. Who brings their mom to a party anyway? He's about as loyal as one person can be, and he loves his female fans.
Oh, I do. I got a fan under the desk. I got a big one over here off to the side blowing me off the camera.
Steve Harness!
How do I even begin to tell you about Brewski? His mind is a vault of semi-useless information. Useless until you need it. It's at that very moment that his oddly overgrown brain will seduce you like Fabio and low-calorie butter.
It's time for another brewski. This one is a crazy brewski.
You're right, dude. We get it.
Someone get me some Cheetos!
Can we please move on, dude? You're right, okay?
Let's get the podcast going, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
Alla Brewski, dude. Don't be a bastard. Welcome to the program.
Welcome to the show.
This is a podcast. We give you two each and every week. And yes, we are the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. Alla Brewski. You knew that. You found us.
Yes. Alla means along with. At least that's how we're using it. So there you go.
I mean, why do you say that, dude?
I have multiple people throughout my life ask me, what does Alla Brewski mean? Why do you guys say that?
You don't know what pie a la mode is, and they don't deserve to know, dude. Okay?
I'm just saying, I'm translating for some people, that's all. So.
Who's multiple, dude? Tell me three of them.
No, I can't. Larry Kerwin.
Okay, all right.
It's come up. Mainly females, but you know.
Gotcha.
Well, that makes sense. They've got a small brain. Welcome to the program, and please, yeah, it's science. I'm quoting Ron Burgundy, dude. Don't nail me to the cross. Call our comment line, 844-48-VOCAL. If you have any other questions, you want to know what Allah means, well, we'll tell you.
Right. We dare you to call 844-48-VOCAL, you bastards. So
I wanted to do it myself, actually.
I've called us a few times just for the fun of it. So.
Oh, nice. Well, I mean, someone has to do it, you know.
Exactly. You can find the website, thevocalminority.net. And yeah, we're on the social medias. If it's a social media, we're on it. So go find it.
We're not on True Social, but I guess these days you can't even call that a social media, really, right?
Everything in Trump world is not real, so I don't know if that's a real social media site.
Yeah, well,
is that thing bankrupt yet, by the way?
Well, I mean, it's so funny to see what's going on with all of it. You know, like people are definitely talking about how it's hit the stock market. Do you know what it is on the stock ticker, by the way?
DJT.
Yes.
Dude, that floored me. I was like, that is the king of arrogance to want to see your name on the stock ticker, DJT. And I suppose he is the stock so much as though that he is now, suing the other fellers that put money into it and saying like, you guys didn't do anything, dude.
Yeah, he's trying to pull the Zuckerberg, trying to start something and then kick everyone else out and, devalue the shares and up his quantity. But yeah, I mean, when that whole company went public a week or two ago, I said to several people, those same people that asked me about the Allah, I said, he's not immune from the rules of the stock market. Like, this thing is worth nothing. I don't care if it pops at first. It can't possibly sustain itself. No. And we saw in this past week, auditors have said, like, this company's not sustainable. It's hemorrhaging money, and not in a good way, like Amazon or something.
Well, and the other thing too is that stock was the most shorted stock.
What does that mean, Brewski?
So short sales it's kind of like betting against it. So you buy the stock and then
you're pumping it up to then try to other people, and then you sell while all the other suckers are buying it, right?
Exactly. And they hold on to it, and then you get it at the high point. But it's almost like something out of Boiler Room. You ever see that movie?
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it's a grift. It's a scam, really. I saw some CNBC analyst that was just in an annoyed, blunt way saying, like, this is not a real stock. You're a fool if you're buying it. And the other talking head was like, but gee, what if Truth Salt? He's like, it's not taking off. There's no, like, it's a scam. Why are you even asking me about this?
I almost feel like they're just getting what they deserve, dude. I'm tired of protecting these idiots. So, you go down in flames. I mean, You think Trump won't go down, and I understand why you think that, because he has been Teflon Don, you know what I mean? But he's going to go down at some point. That's the truth.
Yeah, you guys are in a cult. That's why you don't seem to realize that this whole thing is a sham. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't feel bad for him. How many people have to tell you that you're being scammed before you realize, or I don't feel bad for you? Yeah. I was in the bank the other day, and I was overhearing this guy came in to talk to like the branch manager, or no, it was a woman, and she was saying that my father is talking to a woman in Guatemala and is sending her $5,000 at a time, and this woman's draining his bank account, and how can I stop my dad? And the bank teller was basically like, it's your dad's account, like you should try to talk some sense into him, but I can't stop him from sending money to Guatemala.
Go talk to an attorney, dude, and try and gain control over his money. I mean, that's the best thing he could probably do. He's obviously lost it.
Sure. Who do you think that guy's voting for, though? Right? I mean, so
yeah. Well, as far as the Trump supporters go,
yeah,
I will go back to the sage words of one Trent Reznor, who's saying, "Bow down before the one you serve. You're going to get what you deserve."
Yes.
I would have gone with, I want to fuck you like an animal. You're getting screwed, people.
Yeah, not really, because that's just for frat boy rapists. That's,
Yeah, that's true. You rapist, Steve. Listen.
No, he's not a frat boy.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, he is, dude.
And I put that on a Valentine's card. I thought that was a romantic sentiment.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't think you're doing that right, dude. I don't think you're taking that one in the way it's meant to be taken. But,
whatever.
Yeah, well, good luck to all those Trump supporters that are blowing their money on stocks, on Bibles, on, who knows what else, but you're doing well. Keep doing what you're doing.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you this. We interrupt our program to bring you a special.
Here is a news bulletin.
We interrupt this program to bring you
the humanity and all the things.
A date which will live in infamy.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Need to know news. News you need to know. Steve Harness.
Hi, that's me. I guess let's continue that theme because it's so difficult with Trump supporters to try to break through their bubble. And it's that you can't handle the truth.
Firm, or
what was it called?
Few good men.
A few good men.
Yes.
3 good men, few good men, whatever. So, yeah, Trump supporters, they definitely cannot handle the truth, even when it's coming from not only an actual news source, but your so-called news sources like Newsmax and Fox News and whatnot. So, 2 different stories here this week that just crack me up because so many good, smart people like us, either center people in this country or liberals, just keep asking ourselves and each other, what is up with these Trump supporters? Like, why do they not see the obviousness of the truth? But they don't.
No, they don't. I think they don't want to see it. You can't see what you don't want to see. Okay, Stephen?
Yes, even when people try to tell you. So a newspaper in Cleveland, Ohio this week, the editor had to essentially tell people that I'm going to tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not, because they've been starting to run some news articles and editorial that are calling out Trump in just factual, common sense sorts of ways, and they're getting complaints that the Trumpers don't want their newspaper to say these things. So the editor of the Plain Dealer in Cleveland told readers that the critical coverage of Donald Trump is necessary despite whatever objections they may have. The editor says, quote, the North Star here is truth. We tell the truth, even when it offends some people who pay us for information. The truth is that Donald Trump undermined faith in our elections in his false bid to retain the presidency. He sparked an insurrection intended to overthrow our government and keep himself in power. No president in our history has done worse. This is not subjective. We all saw it. He goes,
truths.
Yes, exactly. The facts involving Trump are crystal clear. And as news people, we cannot pretend otherwise, as unpopular as that may be to our readers.
The fact of the matter is that, here this guy is trying to say, here's the truth, please don't blame the newspaper for this. You subscribe to it and we're giving you the news. I know you don't like this news, but this is actual news. But he's also, if he can't get them to believe him that these are fact, think about this, dude. How many times have we heard Donald Trump, the man who told the lie, lock her up, put her in jail, and then after he was elected, be like, I was just that worked pretty good. That was, I didn't really want her locked up. He told you he was lying. and you still don't believe him.
Yeah. Nope. He told you he was tricking you, and you come back for more. This editor goes on to say, by the way, that Biden has done nothing remotely close to the egregious anti-American acts of Trump, which is another thing I keep telling a lot of liberals of late, that people seem to have an equally negative opinion of Trump and Biden. And it is so unfair to Biden because he has done nothing that would be even remotely close to what Trump has done. Yet for some reason, the American public think they're both equally flawed. And I just can't explain it. And apparently neither can an actual newspaper.
Here's what we can say. That Trump has done illegal things worthy of indictment and impeachment, okay? Biden, twice. Biden hasn't done any of those things. So I can guarantee you at this point in time, he has not done anything illegal. And if he has, he hasn't been caught for it. But what has Biden done? I think the biggest issue is you have this this talking head, this star of Donald Trump that, amped everybody up and put on performance art for people. Now Biden's here and we realize, presidents are boring. They're just supposed to work and, get the country on track and keep us safe. And that's all they're supposed to do. It's not an entertaining gig, dude.
Yeah. As we said before, their only beef seems to be that he's old. And that's because they can't find anything solid or tangible to actually go after him for. If he was actually breaking laws or conspiracies or whatever, like they'd be going for that. But just none of it.
I think his biggest crime is that he's a moderate liberal.
Right.
To them, that alone is the biggest crime that he's committed, and I say crime in air quotes and that sort of thing. Obviously,
You know who I'm really pissed at on this topic? It's not the Trumpers, because, of course, they think Biden's terrible no matter what the reason is. It is the people down the middle of this country, down the middle of the road, the center, and I'm not talking about Kansas. I'm talking about people that are moderates, so-called.
Oh.
We seem to be perpetuating this pop culture thing that Biden is old. I hear it on The Daily Show. I hear it on Saturday Night Live. I hear it from just regular common folk in the area. We all need to stop it because it's bullshit.
Well, I mean, it's not bullshit. He is old. But, I mean, to tear him apart for this is, here's what I think the problem is. This is where I genuinely feel this all came from, all right? When we got into these back and forths with Trumpers and we were having conversation, we got to a point where we said, you know what? We need to find some middle ground. I can't say just, things. I need to sue them. I feel like we had to have kid gloves and say, this is a little crazy, but you guys could do this better. That back and forth. So I feel like people think they're disingenuous if they don't acknowledge the fact that, we have an old president. We have to say something bad about him so we don't seem crazy about it. In all reality, he's an old guy. So is Trump, dude.
Well, but here's the thing. Why do we have to admit anything like that? That's like saying, you have to respect everyone's opinion. No, you don't have to. There are a lot of people out there with bullshit opinions that are not based in fact, and we tell them so. So why do we have to, meet in the middle?
The editor for this paper in Cleveland went on to say that essentially, flat earthers are wrong. The earth is round. We're not required to give flat earthers equal time in an article about the earth being round.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And traditionally in the news media, there's that desire to hear from both sides. But this is when one side is just bullshit and fake. They usually don't give the other side. They don't give the flat earthers that platform. But for some reason in the presidential election, I do see this in the news media. They feel the need to somehow balance it by listing all of the egregious things Trump has done and then poking fun at Biden for being old or something.
Right. Yes.
So we're not being unbiased, but you're being biased by showing that you feel the need to somehow balance it out.
Yeah, this is not us not having anything bad to say about Biden. And look, the guy's human. I mean, we could go back over the things that he's done over the last 4 years and find stuff that he could have done better. Yes. We're not saying he's perfect, but there's no comparison here. And I do not need to bring him down so you guys will listen just a little bit, because it's not going to help either way. So it's not an arrogance thing. It's just the truth.
I do love to watch them eat their own, though. So Newsmax this week, this is my other article, they ran a story calling out Trump's degrading rhetoric that he said in Grand Rapids, Michigan, about immigrants being animals and not human. So they ran coverage of that, and their followers, their viewers, freaked out. They're calling for a boycott. Everyone blocked Newsmax. Newsmax is fake news trash. Like, you know, they try so hard to pander to these idiots, and they tell one grain of truth finally, and their audience, I don't want to hear that. Trump is perfect. Don't tell me he called immigrants animals, and that's somehow negative. Like,
right. I thought you were saying that they were reporting that he said that, and these Trump supporters had a problem with what was said, not that they were reporting he said it.
No, just the fact that they're reporting he said it. That's the problem. Not what he said. No. That's fine. They're animals, clearly. So
we don't talk like that around here, and damn you.
Right.
Well, he repeated those words just the other day at that big fundraiser they had for him.
The Mar-a-Lago $180,000 dinner? Or?
No, it wasn't at Mar-a-Lago. It was at John Paulson's house, which is near Mar-a-Lago. He's a billionaire, and Trump's telling all these wealthy people who all paid this huge amount of money that why can't we have immigrants from Denmark and Norway and Switzerland and Sweden? You know,
the whites.
Exactly. That's exactly. And none of those people even from all the reporting I read, none of them even looked the least bit, uncomfortable.
No. Well, that's what Trump has excelled at, is making people feel comfortable with those views. And it's so sad. Those views have been there, but Trump made everyone feel it's okay to say these kinds of things out loud.
Yeah.
Dude, $800,000 a plate for that, by the way, that fundraiser. Okay. And he did one the night before or 2 nights before he at Mar-a-Lago. Roseanne Barr, who is, on this Trump train and just a frickin' idiot. Yeah. But then all these rich people, people were taping it. He said, oh yeah, when I get reelected, I am going to lower taxes and make all these rich people in this room even richer. And I mean, that was circulating. That's another thing that is poor, low class, when I'm talking monetarily, low class constituents are they don't care about that. Like, yeah, make them richer. Screw me out of more.
Yeah. Nope, voting against their own interest. It's a classic Republican trick. And yeah, by the way, people in Norway and Sweden, I don't think they want to come here. So I don't think that's going to be happening.
Yeah.
They live in pretty good countries with high life expectancy. They have national health care,
good medicine. Yeah.
They make good money, a good living. They get 2 months of vacation a year.
Males get family leave when the wife's pregnant. I mean, they have all the great stuff that we should have, in this country, but we don't. So
I can only hope that at that fundraiser, as he's disparaging immigrants and calling them animals, that maybe some of the wait staff spit in their food, jerked off in it or something. Not that they're all immigrants by any means, but let's be fair, some of them are. So
yeah,
the old, don't complain to the cook because you don't know what they're doing to your food back in the kitchen thing.
That's right, dude. I've told you guys, I made many a pube sandwich. Like, we used to just pinch them out right behind the grill, dude.
I also hope there's some good progressive white people on that wait staff that also spit in the food too. So
yes, I mean everyone. They should be like Baskin Robbins. 31 flavors on these sandwiches, boys.
Right. Make Trump into a porn star after a gangbang. Just fill him with random DNA.
Yes. Put that sauce all over his face, dripping.
Need to know news. News you need to know.
Brewski looked disgusted by that last comment. I don't like that at all, dude. I will just keep. I'll go into this news story and we'll keep on this Trump train for just 1 second, and then we'll move to another idiot. But I think I told you guys, my brother, who we know, one of my brothers, I should say, and I won't tell you which one, audience, is
50-50 chance, but okay.
Staunch conservative. Republican, but he voted for Trump twice. Okay. I think that's all you need to know. And he's a lovely person, but we have discussions when we are together. And, something came up on our last trip where he was like, name something that you find one of your most egregious recent things with Trump. And I said, look, dude, women should be able to have control of their bodies, and that abortion is a healthcare women's body issue, and I shouldn't have a say in it. He was like, well, Trump didn't make that happen. That happened when Biden was in office. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me, bro. Like, I understand what you're saying. He was, but the Supreme Court was stacked. There's so much to get into. That came from Trump. And I said he's as much as said it before. When he was a Democrat, he was pro-choice, but now he has talked about it quite often.
Yes.
He was like, you find me a tape of it. I've never heard him say that. So I would like to, on this show, play the tape, and you can listen to it here if he would like to.
Many people have asked me what my position is on abortion and abortion rights, especially since I was proudly the person responsible for the ending of something that all legal scholars, both sides, wanted and in fact demanded be ended. Roe v. Wade. They wanted it ended. It must be remembered that the Democrats are the radical ones on this position because they support abortion up to and even beyond. The concept of having an abortion in the later months and even execution after birth, and that's exactly what it is. The baby is born, the baby is executed after birth, is unacceptable, and almost everyone agrees with that.
Almost everyone.
I thought he was going to say, he said something like, I'm proudly responsible for ending multiple pregnancies from porn stars I knocked up.
Right. That'd be accurate too, but yes.
We've heard stories that he's had abortions, but performed before for his women. So
100%.
And the other thing too is, remember, he said to Chris Matthews that there should be punishment for women who undergo an abortion.
Yeah, and
100%.
Yeah.
Because Matthews, trapped him. Well, if you're going to punish the woman, you have to punish the man too. And then Trump realized the hole he was stepping in. So, but yeah, he's all over the freaking place on that topic. And yeah, the Supreme Court. I don't know if it was he legally stacked the court, but certainly unethically, the way they stole Obama's, nomination, and then they crammed another one in before he left office. It's the ripple effects from that are not going away anytime soon. And yeah, Roe v. Wade's top of the list.
And just like the Trump appointed justices, here, listen to this, dude. We had two of them come in, starting with Brett Kavanaugh, and say that, no, I wouldn't overturn Roe v. Wade. You were lied to several times. But my point being, we've all known Trump says garbage like this. But yes, there he is taking, he's taking credit for ending Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, multiple ways, from the Supreme Court side to pushing it. And, give him 5 more minutes. I'm sure he'll be in favor of abortion for an hour and a half and then go back the other way.
We'll see what happens with Barron, dude. He may need to get an abortion for himself. What's funny, dude? I don't know if you guys find this to be the truth, too, but I've noticed over my 48 years on this spinning rock is that not all, but most people who are staunchly pro-choice, pro-life, have had abortions in the past, and it is now done out of guilt.
Yeah, a conservative hypocrite, is that what you're saying? In that
scenario. Do you notice that, Brewski? Do you think that's true?
I think there's a percentage of people, women in particular, who may have go down that route, but I think that a lot of them are people who are religious or they've been brought up that way. Yeah. I think there is a percentage of what you're speaking about, but I wouldn't say it's a majority or anything like that, but there is a percentage of them. Yeah,
no, I agree with that. Maybe to say a majority is too harsh, but yes, I do think there's a good percentage of them out there. So,
well, it's kind of like conservatives are against gay people until they know one or they're related to one. So I would argue that probably a lot of conservatives have either had an abortion or if they were in the situation where they needed one, all of a sudden they're in favor of it.
Yes, I would agree with you.
If you put those two together, it might be the majority.
Yeah.
Well, as someone, by the way, who has been through 2 abortions.
What are you talking about?
I had 2 friends who had girlfriends that they knocked up.
Oh, okay. But they weren't your kids, you're saying? Okay.
No, but I'm the one that actually had to bring them to the hospital or to the clinic. I was part of that whole thing, and I've never changed my position. I've always been pro-choice, and I will always be pro-choice.
Did you try to hit on either of them, since they're kind of loose,
No.
Steve, jeez, dude. I was just about to say something, and now I don't even know if I can say it. Listen, Brewski, this is what I was going to say. You bring up a good point that this is a process of people going in for health care and to go in and get an abortion. I have a feeling that conservatives feel like people that are pro-choice, like, jog out of there like, yeah, like it's, great thing, I'm free. And it's not. Like, this is, this is something that people think about, and it's a hard day.
Yeah.
It weighs on them.
I'm sick of hearing conservatives say that women use abortion as birth control. Now, if there is a woman that is using abortion as birth control, just aborting baby after baby, do you want that woman to have a baby, to have children in this world? What kind of terrible person would she be?
Because the Lord knows you're not going to take care of them once they go up for, foster care or adoption. Like, you're done at that point. So,
so if they're using it for birth control, let them, because they're a terrible human, obviously.
And if they really wanted to reduce the number of abortions in this country, they would make contraception absolutely free and just let everyone have it. Because you know what? People are going to fuck.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like teaching abstinence-only birth control, sex ed. Like, it's a preposterous notion.
It's ignorant.
Instead of telling kids not to have sex ever, why don't you be realistic about it and teach birth control?
Yeah, that's why countries like Denmark and the Netherlands, they all have really low rates of teen pregnancy.
Yes, anal sex saves lives, okay? That's what we should be teaching children.
We've been preaching it for years, and we've made a little leeway on it. I mean, I think
society's come a long way.
Yeah, society has come a long way. Let's get into my next story now, gentlemen. I'm not saying that I do, but a lot of people feel like this person should have been aborted and was not. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene, okay? How do we all feel about this eclipse that is happening?
I don't care personally.
Okay.
I mean, I'm on the West Coast, so it's a 30% eclipse that happened earlier today on recording day.
All right.
So I can't get into it. But as far as any conspiracy tied to it, I mean, are we living in medieval times?
Well, I just wanted your vote. Well, you don't care. And neither do I. Brewski, do you care about the eclipse?
Well, as someone in the path of totality.
Yeah, did you get up and go look at it? I would, if it was over us, I would care, and I'd go look
I slept through it. I slept through it.
Okay, so three people here. I scoffed and laughed at the people that are spending so much money. I mean, hey, if you want to do it and it means that much to you, but to go down and, all the Airbnbs are at 98% capacity, like...
and by the way, about 75% of the path today was covered with clouds. It was a bad weather day for this.
And I told it's going to be on TV. Like, I'm sure it'll be live on TV. Like, you can see it, in a much more healthy optical way. So, but these things are bringing up a lot of things for people like MTG, along with the earthquakes that took place over in the East Coast. Brewski was a victim of that earthquake.
Yeah, Brewski, you survived an earthquake and an eclipse this week. I mean, that's amazing.
Hey, listen, just call me Bright Eyes, okay? Total eclipse of the heart,
Yeah.
Yes.
Turn around.
This is interesting, dude. I have, every time I hear something about the eclipse, I tune out. I'm just tired. I'm done. Whatever. Just happened already. But I'm at dinner with my niece last night, and I'm going to tell you that this is how much disinformation spreads and actually does harm on our children. When you think that you're doing all this good conservative work for children, my niece, who turned 20, or she turns 20 tomorrow, we celebrated her birthday last night. I was talking to her, and I'm like, how things been, just kind of shooting the shit, and she said her anxiety has been high all week.
Oh, no.
I was like, why? And she was like, my whole, anything I'm tuning into, whether it's TikTok or TV, social media, whatever, all I'm hearing is people talk about a rapture coming.
Oh,
and I was like, that's bullshit, right? And she was like, I do. I mean, I get that, but how come everyone's talking about it? And they're talking about it, wherever I look. And I was like, this is crazy that your stories, that your tweets are so dangerous that the younger generation are looking at this and even wondering if it's factual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. She's a smart girl, dude, and she's not a Republican. This is one of the tweets that MTG sent out. It said, God is sending America strong signs to tell us to repent. Earthquakes and eclipses and many more things to come. I pray that our country listens. Wow. Okay. So all of her tweets that, you know, I could pull them up on other websites. They all have reader context that people will type in now, thankfully. Like, hey, fact check this. This lady's an idiot.
Yeah.
Earthquakes happen all the time, all around the world. We can follow them in real time using this resource. Okay. And they have a link to the USGS. Eclipses are not random. They follow strict mathematical rules and can be predicted centuries before they happen. NASA has a site listing eclipses until the year 3000. We know exactly when they're going to happen. Okay.
And they happen over conservative areas too, by the way. Yes. Are your people bad when the eclipse goes over their neighborhood?
And the one thing that I couldn't get out of my mind is if you have spent any time, reading the Bible or anything religious, you know that when the Bible talks about the rapture and the end days, that it says none of us will know. Jesus will come like a thief in the night. Okay. Mm-hmm. How can you just throw that out if you're believing in the rapture? Like, how come that part doesn't matter? Like, you can predict it now?
Right.
Are you a prophet?
He's dropping hints.
Yeah.
And if he comes like a thief in the night, most of the mega will shoot him. So be careful.
Right. Be careful. Jesus.
I was going to add to the story, but it's not about MTG. It's about another person.
Great.
However, do you know about, if you have it? Go ahead.
I don't. Please pile on.
Well, do we all know who Sunny Hostin is? She is one of the ranting harpies on The View.
Oh, okay.
That's why I don't know. So good. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So let's remember that this woman is a lawyer.
Okay.
She is a legal correspondent an analyst for ABC News.
I was going to say, The View is on ABC, a major television network. So, yeah.
Okay. So Sunny Hostin has said today on the View said that cicadas, the solar eclipse, and the earthquake are all linked to climate change.
Wow. Even when they're right, they're wrong. Like, climate change is real and it's affecting our community, but not the ways you just said.
Yeah, exactly. Climate change is real. And this kind of crap here makes the conservatives say, oh, see, nobody knows anything about climate change because Sunny Hostin thinks that's also the eclipse and the earthquake and cicadas. She's hurting oh, God.
This is the problem with this much misinformation. Like Nick is saying, even his, innocent 20-year-old middle niece is just like, I hear so much garbage. I'm just confused. I don't know what to believe. And that's why the Trumpers do this. They're just muddying the waters because clear waters, you'll see right through them.
You're exactly right.
All of this misinformation, that's why it's so dangerous. You can laugh at it when you're a common sense person like us. But so many people that just aren't as attuned to the news and whatnot, or even those that are, just get, overwhelmed. Like I hear from so many sources. There has to be some truth to it, right? No.
We've battled thoughts about this on the program before, where Brewski is not on TikTok, has no desire to be there, and has showed disdain for people who grab their news on TikTok, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm telling you that I understand where you're coming from, but I hate to burst your bubble. That there are a lot of 20-somethings getting their news from TikTok
that are fucking dumbasses. Yeah, exactly. I know.
Well, hold on though. You understand there's actual news on TikTok, right? Like MSNBC has a whole channel. I see them stuff.
I get it. But I will tell you this: I can almost guarantee you that most of the people that Nick's about to talk about do not go to the MSNBC channel. They go to influencers.
There is definitely some of that going on. But like Neo is a giant fan of Rachel Maddow, has never once turned on MSNBC. Like there is real news out there. And I think it's a mixture. It's probably more out of whack though. Some kids, they're probably listening to 80% influencers and only 20% of the MSNBCs or whatever. But yeah, Nick, your point.
Oh, my point being is that the people I know, the young 20-somethings that I know, the way, especially with the way TikTok works, are looking at those MSNBCs. And I mean, even the influencers that are doing stories on MSNBC stories, all that stuff is going to pop up on your For You page because, well, it has an algorithm of the way you think like-minded stuff will come to you. So my niece, who I know probably gets a majority of her news only from the internet and doesn't watch it on TV, when we're talking, I mean, we probably agree on 85-90% of things. So I don't feel like that is an excuse. I feel like all those people can get great news on TikTok or whatever social media platform they are. You still have to seek it out rather than just being able to tune into MSNBC and you know what you're going to get. Maybe it's a more healthy way to look at the news, is to see it from many perspectives and be able to decipher what's real, what's not, what's fake, what's factual.
You know what it is, though? It's an indictment, though, on the attention span of young people in particular.
Sure.
They don't want to sit and read an article. They don't want that. You know what I mean? They don't want to do anything like that. They want to sit and watch videos. You know,
this is an honest question, and I'm not trying to corner you here, but I'm asking you, how were you at 20 as far as taking in political news in general from around the country?
Nick, I read the newspaper every day, cover to cover. Even in my 20s.
There was only a newspaper though when Brewski was 20.
But
even to know that you did read the newspaper every day when you were 20.
2 newspapers every day when I would get on the T to go to work, the Globe and the Herald.
I believe that about you. I don't think it is the standard.
No,
even
it's not.
When we were that age, you know,
No,
I think you were spectacular. It took me at least into my mid-20s to really start tuning in and reading and caring about certain political subjects and even news from around the world. What about you, Harness?
Yeah, no, I didn't probably get newsy until probably into my mid-20s as well. I think who we should be admonishing in the youth today are those that are just like, I don't want to watch the news. They don't watch any news from any source anywhere, read it, watch it, anything else. Like, if my kids are only watching the news, then they are leaps and bounds ahead of the average, 20-something out there.
You do. I mean, I guess you have to be careful wherever you get your news from. You know,
and I don't want to admonish talking heads on the internet that have opinions on news either, because that's the 3 of us right here.
Oh yeah,
I get that, but at the same time, though, we're not putting out stupid dance videos at the same time. You know what I mean?
And we get more views if we did, so we should work on it.
We should.
I won't participate. So if we go that route, you're going to lose me. So
you can be the grumpy one in the middle while Nick and I line dance around you. It'll be fun.
No.
So
yeah.
No, I'm just saying, at least some people do consider us a news source, which is a little sad, but Bill Maher always says that, like, so many of you don't watch the news, so I'm here to give it to you. And at least you're getting it from him or from us or something. I mean, I just am so sick of people that are like, I don't like the news. I'm not into the news.
Oh, yeah.
The news is depressing.
Yeah, exactly.
So boring. Well, a lot of disinformation out there, and it is, it's up to all of us to let people know when they've read something or seen something that is not factual and not true. It can get dangerous, but it's up to us all,
And by the way, this is actually not a new phenomenon. I mean, I think it was Mark Twain back in the old days that said the truth will make it, or a lie makes it around the world 10 times before the truth can even lace up its shoes.
Wow. We got another T-shirt to produce. That's a lot of text on one T-shirt.
It is. Twain need to be more concise, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So be careful. Let's go to a real newsman, a factual newsman now.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news.
It's time for another brewski. This one is a crazy brewski.
Yeah. Steve?
Okay, well, I'll start off by reminding everyone we are another week closer to Election Day, and I ask you, what have you done to make sure that Donald J. Trump is not president again?
I pray for his demise every day to Jesus. Zombie Jesus. I pray to him every day.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
And zombie Jesus.
Well, I come here with a story that I believe even Steve may have engaged in.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Or he might be in favor of. Mm-hmm. I didn't know something could be illegal, but something like this could be illegal. But when I say the phrase illegal butt injections, what do you think of?
My dating life.
There you go.
Gee whiz. You've been not sharing everything with us then.
Right. Nothing illegal, and it's always asked for. So it might be a little immoral, but
I think about those ass implants, dude. Just, putting some cottage cheese in those thick thighs. And
that probably makes more sense. Yeah, okay.
Well, this story happens to come from the great state of Texas and out of Houston, where a mother and her 18-year-old daughter are accused of traveling across the country to give illegal butt injections for $6,000.
Wow.
That's not a bad deal, though. I mean, come on.
I wish I could get paid for giving, women butt injections.
Right. Normally I have to buy you dinner first. So.
$6,000? Yeah.
Listen, you got to be careful with that, dude. I mean, that has to be done in a sterile environment.
Well, that's why I use Purell as my lube. So it's all sterile and clean.
This is not an anal sex thing, right? You understand that?
Oh, no, sorry.
Wait a minute. I was going to say, I'll use a condom. I mean, Well,
are we talking about Botox or
what we're talking about? But I'm horny all of a sudden.
Okay, well, I'm going to expand here now. Police, and I don't mean get an erection.
Jeez, right. You guys.
You got to expand, spread apart. You know what I'm saying? Expand the cheeks. Even if I don't take it out and play with it, I still like seeing it. So exactly.
Well, police say that 56-year-old Consuelo Maria Dalbo and her 18-year-old daughter, Isabella Dalbo, were planning on injecting an unlabeled brown liquid into the butt of a customer on Wednesday.
It's supposed to be white, dude. What have you been eating?
No, the injecting brown, that's the reverse Taco Bell. You're injecting in instead of injecting out.
I see. That sounds so nasty, dude. Please continue.
However, what they didn't know was the customer was an undercover officer.
Ooh.
Now, here's the thing, though. You want to talk about party favors, lubing someone up a little bit? Consuelo then gave the officer a Xanax to relax before the injections.
Oh, she's got
hold on.
Good bedside manner, dude.
You taking notes, Steve?
Yeah, relaxing before that's.
Let's give Steve a little instruction here.
And Steve, you gotta try injecting into a mouth. Flavors are unbelievable.
No, it's into the bottom, dude.
No, you're talking about ATM there. Okay.
Jeez.
Well, now if we're talking about brown liquid, well, that would probably be something brown chunky, but
Right. All right, hold on. Let's take this down a notch. So these women are trying to claim like this is some sort of like this new injection that gives you like the Kardashian ass. Is that what this is?
Exactly. That's what the actual story is about. Jokes aside, the story is about these women were not medical professionals, obviously, and they were going across the country charging $6,000 a pop to inject the unlabeled brown liquid into the butts, the gluteus maximus, if you will, of women around the country.
Does it say what that substance actually was?
I'm looking right now. It says here, officers seized bags of illegal injectables and medical supplies. Both have been charged with unlawfully practicing medicine without a license. Consuelo will also be charged with delivering a controlled substance called alprazolam.
Alpo? No, that's a brown.
Alprazolam.
Alpo is brown. So
alprazolam.
Alprazolam, exactly.
Listen, a lot of people got sick through this. I mean, these are not the first two dummies to go do this,
Well, here's the thing, though. Now, Ms. Consuelo does have some sort of, educational background there. She says that while she isn't a licensed doctor in the U.S., she did attend medical school in Mexico for 3 years.
She was working as a janitor there, but she attended.
Yeah, she was there every day. Jeez.
News you need to know.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. Do you want a poo story or a Disney movie come to life story?
Well, I'll be very upfront and frank with you that my next story also falls in the way of fecal. So if we would like to double up our fecal stories, we can. Or if you want to clean something up, you can, and I'll give you fecal.
Okay, I'll let you handle the fecal. I'll tell a feel-good story.
Oh, thank you, Steve.
Thank you. It does seem like this is some sort of Pixar movie, or soon will be.
Okay.
A 53-foot tanker truck carrying 100,000 Chinook salmon in Oregon skidded off the road, rolled over late last month. It was full of fish, the tanker truck. Okay. The funny thing is, though, it crashed right next to a river, and the thing split open, and all the fish went into the river and all swam away to freedom.
damn, those fishermen wasted a lot of time.
Right. Doesn't that sound like a Pixar movie, though? Like they got trapped by the fishermen and they're in the tanker truck going to the grocery store, but an accident and they get out and they flop to the river. And
now they can't find their family and they, go back to search. It's like Finding Nemo.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe they're going to restock the salmon in some area. So that's a possibility where they have these live salmon and they take them to another body of water. So that's
tremendous
entirely
play
possible.
by Brewski.
Yep, exactly.
They also could have been flash frozen. Do you know this? They could have been flash frozen and then woken up as they got into the water as they defrosted. That's a true story, dude. Did you know fish will do that? You can flash freeze a fish and then put them back in the water, and maybe 7 out of 10 times they'll come back to life and just swim away and have a happy life.
Is that a real thing? I mean, that sounds like Dr. Evil being cryogenically frozen and back to life.
Or in this case, Walt Disney.
Yeah,
it's true. That's true. This is true. My fact. It's true.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, you can go fact check it if you want. I
Do
recommend.
we have any sort of third party to verify that it's a fact?
Let's see.
That's a fact.
Well, there you go.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, listen, this is Nick Reynolds, probably one of the most honest people that you and I know. So,
He also watches a lot of Toy Story and things like that. Making sure.
Yeah.
Not projecting a little because there's Disney running through this whole story for some reason. So.
No, I think I'm almost positive that's a fact. So, and it was just confirmed. So we're gonna roll with it.
What are the odds, though, seriously, that a tanker truck full of fish crashes next to a river and all the fish get to run away? It's like, you're like a bus full of porn stars breaking down in front of my house. Like, what are the odds?
Well, what would you do, dude? I mean, would you run out to save them and plug their holes?
I would fertilize them just like the salmon, Got to stock the pond.
Yeah.
Start rolling film. Something good will happen. That's all I'm saying. It'll have a happy ending. I certainly would. So.
You're extra horny today, dude. Did Brewski get you horny with that butt plug story?
That must be, Once you spark the fire, it just starts going.
Yeah, we go, wildfires are coming.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
Oh, God, I just closed the story, and I thought it was the one that I was just about to read. Oh, my gosh.
The masses are waiting.
Yeah. Well, wait to the tune of this, okay?
Where's Nick?
Bad word. Doo-doo is a very, very, very bad word.
Do you remember that doo-doo is a bad word?
Bad word. No, it's not a very, very
No, it's not a bad word. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen.
That song is full of shit.
Yes, that definitely is. I can't give you a rim shot right now, but I'm doing it in my mind. Did you boys know that everybody poops, but not everybody wipes correctly? So we're going to have a little lesson in wiping today because, well, wiping can be a dangerous game, gentlemen. You can hurt yourself. You can hurt your butthole. And if you hurt
yourself,
I mean,
strain something. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, if you hurt your butthole, dude. I mean, I'm not talking crap when I say
you listed
this.
those things separately. You said you could hurt yourself. You could hurt your butthole. So I was trying to figure out how I pull a shoulder muscle or something, wiping the wrong direction.
It's possible, dude. For most of us, using the toilet is something we don't put much thought into. This article says, after all, we've been doing it for decades, but you may want to think twice about how you wipe your butt. You may have
a lot of butt talk on today's show. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we think alike a lot of the time. So you may have been doing it wrong this whole time. It's just one bad pooping habit you'll want to break, and I'm about to tell you 4 of them, okay? This is how to wipe your butt, okay? First of all, do we all wipe our butt?
What's the other option? Oh, I mean, but besides bidet, I guess. Is that what you're inferring?
No, I'm not inferring that.
Are you asking if someone else does it for me? Like, what? How do I not?
I've read stories about other people or seen people on other podcasts that have talked about how they poop and stuff like that. And like sometimes when it's a podcast or a show with, 3 people like us, and then I tell you how I do it, people freak out and it becomes a big topic. This is a person that says, oh, I don't wipe my butt. I get a wad of toilet paper and I hold it, 8 inches below and I poop on the toilet paper. Okay, it doesn't even go into the water.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, people wipe their butt in all different ways.
I'm not saying I look at food. I don't eat it, but I just look at it, and I can't figure out why I'm dying.
Do you wipe your butt with toilet paper, Brewski?
Yes, and so sometimes I even. Well, it depends. If I'm at home, my sink is just right next to my toilet. I'm able to do my own little wet wipe. If I'm not at home, if I'm in a public facility,
sure,
I might do an Alabama wet wipe,
which is
paper. Ugh.
Is it? Yes, you just wet the teepee?
No, I spit in the wet. That's an Alabama wet wipe.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Wet paper. I mean, just the especially when it clings to my skin.
Oh, all right. Steve, do you wipe your bottom?
As we've discussed on this show, I do the initial cleanup with actual human toilet paper, like most humans do. But then I use baby wipes. I find them soothing and cleansing.
Okay.
I ran out the other day and had a mild panic attack.
Oh no!
I'm back to being a caveman. I can't just wipe with toilet paper. I need a freaking wipe here. So,
all right. Well, this is the truth of the matter: is that not only wiping with toilet paper, but the position in which you wipe differs not only from person to person, but from culture to culture. Okay.
Sure. I'm sorry. Is something on the top 4 list here people that just don't wipe at all? Because that would seem like a glaring mistake. Yes,
that would seem like a mistake. But there's people who don't wipe.
I mean, seriously, how would you even get through a day? How is that not an itchy, swamp-assy mess?
Oh, I can't even imagine. Really.
And not even that, the smell.
Yes.
Oh, dude, I mean, come on. All 3 of us have been in the situation at some point in our life where we took a dump, we wiped, and then, maybe we're doing manual labor or whatever, like 3 hours later or whatever, you feel like, gosh, I just have an itchy, sweaty asshole. And then you wipe it just to dry it, and there's all kinds of poop on the toilet paper. Do you know what I mean? Have you been there?
Sure. Maybe randomly in life, yes.
Yes, dude. That's what I'm talking about. So you got to wipe. It's important to wipe, and there's a proper way to wipe. This is wiping, first of all, front to back or back to front. A lot of people go back and forth about this, and I don't understand why we would ever wipe back to front.
I don't either. That just seems counterintuitive. I'm always front to back. I can't imagine going the other way. That's like going against the grain. Like, I don't know how that would work.
Completely. But a lot of people do it. And you can't imagine if you're a woman and do that.
Say, yeah, a woman. That'd be dangerous.
It's really dangerous. So they say that wiping, back to front is obviously upping the possibility of spreading bacteria from the anus to the urethra, the tube connecting the bladder to an opening where urine empties outside your body. So, you definitely should be wiping from front to back. Keep it all in the anus. You know what I mean?
I watched a movie last night called that.
According to Sun Pao, it doesn't matter if a person sits or stands to wipe. Some people just prefer to do it differently. Essentially, it's entirely up to the person's own preference. Neither sitting or standing to wipe works better than the other. That said,
who's standing? Do you guys stand?
No, I don't stand, but apparently there's a lot of people who do.
Huh. Standing, jeez, doesn't your cheeks clench up at that point, and then you really can't kind of get in at what you need to get at everything?
It's a humiliating process as it is. I can't imagine standing there with my pants around my ankles, clenching.
Yeah,
that's a mistake right there. Sit, people, sit.
And when you stand up, aren't you taking what's still there that you haven't wiped and pressing it between your cheeks? Yeah, it seems counterintuitive to me.
Jeez, but some people are just stupid. I swear to God.
Yeah. This doctor does go on to say that technically it doesn't matter if you sit or stand, but sitting is best because it offers better access to your anus.
Sure. Philosophy I've had for years.
Some people lack mobility and it makes them hard for them to reach under and around their legs. So maybe this is bigger people who have to stand up to wipe their butt.
Boy, that increases accessibility, though, if you're a big, large dude and you're standing.
Yeah, this guy says don't stand up to wipe, even if you have an accessibility issue. Wiping tools are available Okay, these are called wiping toilet aids and are long sticks built to hold toilet paper and help those with limited mobility or joint pain wipe after going to the bathroom.
Wow.
Okay.
A wiping tool. Sometimes I take a DeWalt and I just put a little toilet paper on the drill and just, a little rotor action,
I mean, you want to be as thorough as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to use a tool. Come on.
Do you come after that? Or, I mean, does it?
Nick, this is a sanitary. Why is everything about sex to you?
No, I'm just asking you, dude. It's not to me.
Jeez, grow up. It's not all.
What's the worst case scenario for wiping incorrectly? Well, the consequences of wiping back to front depend on your genitalia. If a person has a vulva, meaning they have an opening known as a puss,
it's a technical term, kids. So.
Yes. Wiping back to front can easily transmit that bacteria from the anus to your puss, and bacteria can really mess you up down there. So stop doing that, especially if you're a lady. This is wiping advice that I'll give you.
Man,
now that
the worst case scenario is asking the guy in the stall next to you to help. That's the worst case.
Yeah, well, there are wiping tools. You don't have to ask that guy anymore.
And seriously, putting toilet paper on a stick? That's this article's recommendation, huh?
You know what? Have you ever watched My 1,000-Pound Sisters or My 600-Pound Life? Or
Nope.
No. Brewski?
I think you'd remember. If you did.
I don't know how to answer that. I honestly don't know how to answer that.
I plead the fifth. I'm not going to acknowledge that.
Okay. If you've watched either of those shows, you'll know that the wiping tool is a real thing. And it is, maybe it's about a foot. Maybe it's about 15 inches, 16 inches long. It's got a little grasper that holds the toilet paper in a clump. And then
is it like a back scratcher?
Yeah, kind of like that. But you're able to attach the toilet paper on there and rub your butthole clean.
It seems like you would need really long arms to do that, but all right. I'll take your word for it.
You know what? If you have a problem doing that, and if you're at home, at least get up off the toilet and just go in the shower.
Yeah, I mean the shower is the standing bidet, really, and fan of bidets, so that's all valid. Yeah.
Now that we have given you wiping advice on how to wipe properly, I'll give you a little advice about the types of poop that you have that you should wipe differently with. Okay.
Okay.
Be gentle when you have diarrhea. Most people think that when you have diarrhea, it's just time to really wipe it out and, press it hard and get all the juices out of there,
I don't think that, but okay. Most people do. I'll take your word for it.
You don't think that? What do you do?
I don't know that any form requires extra pressure, you should be gentle with that all the way around.
That's a great question, dude. Do you wipe softly, or how much pressure in foot-pounds are you putting on it?
About 10 psi is what we usually spread out there.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And that's poos per square inch, not pounds per square inch.
All right. This doctor says you got to be gentle when you have diarrhea, especially. The skin around your anus is extremely thin. I don't think you know how thin it is. It can be irritated very easily when a person has diarrheal. That skin can become red and tender. That's why oftentimes you bleed when you're wiping your butt with diarrhea. Okay.
I am always tender with the back door for everyone,
Instead of wiping, it may be better to wash that area in the shower, a la Brewski, with lukewarm water, or use a bidet. That's when you have diarrhea, try and get in the shower. That's best for your butthole.
I mean, what we've learned is really water is best for every type of poo if you have the option. I don't and don't want to, but
Dr. Son Powell says if you must wipe, use soft toilet paper and gently wipe front to back, as we talked about before. Then a little Vaseline on the skin around that anus may help with irritation and retain moisture.
Okay. All right. And then you're ready to stop by the truck stop later, too, if you're all lubed up ahead of time. So.
There you go.
Double it up. The article goes on to say, in fact, always be gentle like Steve just said, he is the son of a doctor. Yeah. The most common butt wiping mistake out there is anal fissures, or a tear within the lining of the anus, and it's common among people who wipe too aggressively. Okay,
see, I use 32 grit toilet paper. Is that a problem? Is that soft and gentle?
Look for 2-ply toilet paper. Avoid wet wipes is what this doctor says. Wet wipes should be avoided, as many are made with toxic chemicals that can cause rashes and irritations on the skin. Wet wipes keep the skin around the anus moist, which can aid in allowing bacteria to multiply. They're also environmentally unfriendly because they take an extended period of time to decompose and can clog pipes.
Baloney. First of all, you should never flush them, obviously. Secondly, I use baby wipes. So you're telling me those have toxic chemicals that we're putting on babies?
We put baby powder on babies for years, and then we found out many years later that talcum creates, cancer. So.
Listen, my wet wipes literally have Winnie the Pooh on them, and no one knows Pooh like Winnie, so I think I'm okay.
I don't think it matters, dude. That's like saying I take Flintstone vitamins. Those are garbage, dude. I mean, come on. You should really see what's in them. And if you can't pronounce all of the items, you should do away with them.
Well, speaking of seeing, my Brown ICs 2020, it's doing just fine with my wipes. Thank you.
Talk to your doctor. Wiping seems simple, but as with other bathroom mistakes, you can have uncomfortable side effects if you do it wrong, and a lot of people are doing it wrong in today's day and age. Overall, it's just best to gently wipe from front to back, minimal times too, maybe 1 to 2 times with soft toilet paper. If you have to do it more than that, jump on a bidet or take a shower. We shouldn't be wiping more than 2 to max 3 times. Wow. If you feel you're suffering symptoms, there is a line you can call to get some advice done on wiping.
844-48-VOCAL.
Yes,
all it up.
Exactly right, yeah.
And I feel sorry for every doctor now who, you're going for a sore throat. You're like, hey, by the way, how should I be wiping? Front to back to front? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, well, now people need to know, dude. It's important. It's health. Come on.
Yeah.
All right? Yeah. And now this is, after all, news you need to know. Need to know news.
All right.
Well, go check out our webpage, thevocalminority.net caller comment line, which happens to be the same as that poop advice line. It's 844-48-VOCAL.
And, the vocalminority.net, all of the social medias, videos extraordinaire. Watch those, share those, please.
Enough said.
Oh, okay. Stanley himself. All right, Brewski, say it.
Adios.
And we say bye-bye.
Test 1 2, test 1 2.
Stop.